Welcome everyone to our spring. I know it's hard to believe it's spring to say spring in January, but it's spring semester. So spring semester 2022 Future Leaders Program. My name's Emily Cabbage, and I will be with you during the next 4 weeks as we kind of talk about the insurance and financial services industry and pursuing that as a career. And today we've got a special treat for you, the one and only Delvin Joyce, who is based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And Delvin, I'm sure he'll kind of talk. I don't want to spoil too much of his introduction, but Delvin is actually a former NFL player for the Giants, and he is based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and works for Prudential. So, Delvin, I know you've got a lot of great content, and just for everybody's edification, this is being recorded. And if we have time at the end, we will allow you guys to ask Delvin some questions and want to make this a great experience for you all. So Delvin, over to you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Emily. And I love the fact that it's almost spring. That you just made my day, right? And welcome to all of you future leaders. I appreciate you making the time to come here and learn about the industry. There's so many things. You guys are on a college campus, and I'm so jealous. There's so many other things you could be doing today, but you chose to spend some time with us today to talk about financial services. So as Emily said, again, my name is Delvin Joyce. I am a financial planner based in Charlotte, North Carolina. I work with Prudential, but I work under the DBA Prosperity Wealth Group. I'll talk a little bit more about what that means in a second. But also, as Emily said, I used to play professional football, and I am quite sure, because you guys are all future leaders, I'm quite sure that we have a bunch of New York Giants fans on this call today. So if you are a Giants fan, please put it in the chat. Just say "Go Giants," and that will give me all the encouragement I need for this presentation. So let me tell you a little bit about our agenda. So a couple of things that we're going to do to help you sort of understand how this industry works and all the different avenues that you can explore as a part of this industry. We're going to start with my career journey. All right. We're also going to go through some career options. And thank you, Emily, for the Go Giants. All right. Nice job. All right, Andrew, my man. Nice. So we're going to talk about my career journey. We're going to go through what those career options could be. We're going to talk through some of the challenges that you might face as a new person in this industry. Then we'll talk about why financial planning, or how financial planning can help you to address those challenges. We'll talk through the process of financial planning itself. And as Emily said, hopefully we have some time at the end for questions, and that will be an opportunity for you to ask me anything, including should the NFL overtime rule be changed? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. All right, so here's my career journey. After I retired from the NFL, I came to North Carolina and joined Prudential in their North Carolina financial group. That was 2006. Just a year later, I decided to hop off of the advisor track, right, which was more entrepreneurial, being an advisor, working with my clients, and I decided to go into leadership. So in 2007, I was promoted to manager, where I recruited, trained, and developed other financial advisors for Prudential. In 2010, I was promoted to an associate managing director role. And then ultimately in 2012, I was promoted to managing director of Prudential South Florida Financial Group. Now, that was around the same time that LeBron took his talents to South Beach. So I took my talents to South Beach. I had an office in West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and Miami. It was a great opportunity for me to really learn the industry. And it was also an opportunity for me to expand my leadership abilities. Now, in 2017, my wife and I decided that we wanted to move back to North Carolina. And so we moved back, and I decided to go back into practice as a financial planner, working with my own individual clients again. So I say all that to say there's so many different avenues that you can go in this career. And, you know, I went the advisor route, got into leadership and management, and now 10, 15 years later, I'm back on the advisor route, right? So your career, as you think about what you want out of your financial services career, or if you're considering this career, please know that there could be more than one route to success. and many of you will explore different routes as you go along. Now, as we think about the career options, if you were to stay on the, let's call it non-leadership, non-management route, there are several different career options that you can explore. The first is just as an insurance agent, right? The second is as a financial advisor. And the third is as a financial planner, right? So as we think about the myriad ways that you can be involved in the financial services industry, these are the three main ways that most people who join our industry will work. So I'm going to talk about each of these individually. Now, the first is as an insurance agent. And as an insurance agent, you might sell insurance, whether it's property and casualty insurance, which is car and home insurance or insurance for business owners. You might sell life insurance, right, for individuals or for businesses, or you might specialize in selling health insurance. But by and large, if you choose to start a career in our industry as an insurance agent, then your primary principal business will be selling insurance. Now, the other one is as a financial advisor. And so as a financial advisor, there are a number of ways that you're going to work with your clients. And I want you to think about, all the challenges that our clients face, especially right now when you think about the stock market. I don't know if anyone out there is watching, but there's more ups and downs in the stock market right now than we saw in the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills game the other night, right? There's so much going on right now, and there's so many challenges that our clients need help with. And as a financial advisor, it gives you the opportunity to help them with those challenges. Now, depending on who your regulatory body is, right? Depending on how you want to work with your clients will depend on what type of relationship you have with the different regulatory bodies. So I don't want to confuse you. I want to make this as simple as possible. But as a financial advisor, there are two regulatory bodies that you will maybe have to adhere to. The first is an organization called FINRA. That is the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. And as a FINRA representative, you have to work for a broker-dealer. And by working for that broker-dealer, you can actually charge commissions or earn commissions for giving investment advice. Now, many of you have probably heard the licenses or the terms Series 6 or Series 7 or Series whatever. Those series licenses are typically issued by FINRA, which allow you to get paid commissions for either investment advice around mutual funds or investment advice around selling individual stocks or bonds. On the other side of the coin, though, as a financial advisor, you could be registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission as a registered investment advisor. Now, if you are registered with the SEC as a registered investment advisor representative, this allows you to earn fees for that investment advice. Broker-dealer relationship, you charge commissions for investment advice. The registered investment advisor representative arrangement, you earn fees for investment advice. Now, where it gets confusing is that you can have a financial advisor who principally works in the investment advice area or arena, who charges both commissions and investment advice and charges fees. So we would call that advisor a hybrid. There's also, to confuse you even more, there are financial advisors who are also licensed to sell insurance. So you could be a financial advisor who only works with clients from a fee standpoint for investment advice, or you could be a financial advisor who works with clients from a fee standpoint for investment advice, charges commissions for investment advice, and also earns commissions for the sale of insurance. So more broadly, when people think of the sort of the catch-all term for a professional in our industry, what you will often hear is the term financial advisor. because it encompasses more of the disciplines and the practices that we've talked about: insurance, investments, fees, and commissions. Now, the other career option that you have is in financial planning. Now, again, I am a financial planner. I am partial to the idea of financial planning. And where financial planning has a place, again, I talked about some of those concerns that our clients have right now. There's so many challenges that people face. And being a financial planner helps you to not just look at, the solution itself, but to help clients really understand what their strategy should be. So financial planners are more strategy focused. Financial advisors sometimes are more solutions, product focused. But as a financial planner, there are two main arrangements that you can have in working with your clients. The first is what I call fee only, right? If you are a fee only financial planner, then that typically means that the only way you can be complicated is through fees, right? You can charge a fee to create a financial plan for a client, but you can't earn any commissions for selling any insurance. In fact, most fee-only financial planners do not even have an insurance license. A fee-only financial planner typically would also not have a broker-dealer relationship, which means that they cannot earn fees or they cannot earn commissions for investment advice, right? So a fee-only financial planner can only get compensated through fees. Fees from either creating a financial plan or fees from delivering investment advice as an investment advisor representative. Now, the other side of the token is a fee-based financial planner. A fee-based financial planner is more of a hybrid arrangement. A fee-based financial planner can not only charge fees for financial plans, but they can also have a broker-dealer relationship, an insurance license, and get compensated on commissions for the sale of products. So they can create a plan and then also help clients to implement that plan by selling or implementing the specific products and earning a commission. So as you look at the financial planner landscape, these are the two things that you would have to decide how you would want to build your practice. All right, now I personally, as we think about the hard part, right? The hard part is figuring out how do I sort all these things, right? Where do I go to work? And if I want to be a financial planner, what does that look like? And if I just want to be a financial advisor, what does that look like? Well, there are different places that you can go to work. And I want you guys to think about this because some of you may be deciding to go into this industry. The very first, the most easy, it's an insurance agency. If you decide that you want to sell property and casualty insurance, home and auto insurance, right? Then you may go to work for an insurance agency and specialize in selling insurance. You can build a great career doing that. Now, for many of you, though, you may decide that you like the idea of being more of a financial advisor. So you want the opportunity to sell insurance, whether it's life insurance or health insurance or, disability or a home and auto insurance, but you also want to be able to offer more to your clients, like investments. Well, that's where you may go to an insurance-based broker-dealer. An insurance-based broker-dealer is an insurance company that also serves as a broker-dealer, which allows you to service your clients through a FINRA, Financial Industry Regulatory Agency relationship, all right? Now, an insurance-based broker-dealer is typically going to be a company like a Prudential, like a Northwestern Mutual, New York Life, Mass Mutual, these bigger companies that are also going to have a career system that has a training program that's really going to help you to learn the industry. So a lot of times an insurance broker dealer is one of the first steps that a lot of people who enter our industry go. Now, once you are seasoned and you've been trained and, maybe you venture off to an independent broker dealer. An independent broker dealer is sort of the same as an insurance-based broker-dealer, except there is no specific company affiliation for that independent broker-dealer. This model is typically a lot more entrepreneurial, right? There's going to be less training and less of a career system in the independent broker-dealer model. And that it speaks to the term independent. You're kind of on your own to figure some of those things out, which is why typically new people don't land at an independent broker-dealer unless they are working under a senior advisor or a mentor. Then there are the wirehouses. The wirehouses are mostly companies or firms that are focused primarily on investment management. Those would be your Merrill Lynch's, your Morgan Stanley, UBS, Wells Fargo advisors. These are firms that are specifically in the industry or business of gathering investment assets. All right. And then I'd say the least path of resistance in our industry is the bank. The bank is usually a really good place to learn. And a lot of these other arrangements are more, commission-based, sort of no base salary arrangements. But the bank typically would provide you with some sort of salary to help you get started. And not everyone has the wherewithal or the ability, I think, to work in a career where so much of the compensation is performance driven. Well, a bank will allow you to work, learn the industry, get some of your licenses and certifications, but not have all the pressure of having to go out and sell and build and create clients. And remember, the bank has people who actually walk in every day and you can look on the computer screen and see how much money they have, right? And so as you think about different places to work in our industry, those are some of the more popular. Here are some of the challenges, though, you might face. The first challenge is that, most advisors that I see have a hard time clearly articulating their value proposition to their prospects and to their clients. So what is the one unique thing about me or my practice that separates me from everyone else? Most advisors have a hard time with that. The other challenge that you'll have to overcome, that you'll have to create a solution for, is creating a system to consistently fill the top of your sales funnel with new prospects. The number one reason why most people fail out of this industry, especially if they go with one of those more entrepreneurial models, is that they run out of people to talk to. And it doesn't matter how much you know and all those things if you don't have someone to share that knowledge with, right? And also, even more importantly, if the people that you're trying to sell that knowledge with do not see you in that capacity, then they will not work with you. So one of the challenges is consistently finding prospects to fill the top of your sales funnel. Now, another challenge that I've seen for especially new people to our industry is creating an actual client service model. What does being a client of your firm look like? What does being a client of your practice actually look like? And then lastly, and maybe more importantly, a lot of us get into the industry to create residual income. And the more we have residual income, the easier the job gets. I often tell people that, this will be the hardest job that you'll ever do for $60,000 a year. But one day it'll be the easiest job you're doing for $500,000 a year. And it's because as time goes on, your business compounds on itself. And as your business compounds, your income grows exponentially. So that while there may not be a base salary in some of the arrangements in the early years, you create residual income and build a base salary for yourself in successive years. And all the really the best part about it is you get to do all that. You get to do good for yourself while doing good things for other people, while truly having an impact on their lives. So these are the challenges that many people see in our industry. And I happen to believe that financial planning will help you to overcome those challenges. So of all the arrangements that we talked about, I am partial to financial planning as a financial planner because financial planning has helped me to overcome those challenges that we talked about. So challenge number one, and I'm going to go through this pretty fast because I want to save some time for questions. Challenge number one, that value proposition that we talked about. How are people uniquely benefited by working with you? Well, I believe that financial planning answers that question for you so that you don't have to create some corny elevator pitch. Financial planning allows you to help people with more than just buying a product. And I also believe that consumers now are more educated than ever. So they want more help than just, buying some product and never talking to their advisor again. They actually want someone who's going to hold their hand and walk them through all the myriad challenges that they're going to face in their life. And so when I talk about the value proposition that I bring to my clients as a financial planner, I often talk about the difference between a financial advisor and a financial planner. And I explain it just like this, Mr. or Mrs. Client. If you were to go to a financial advisor with your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, or worst fears and nightmares, that financial advisor is probably going to present to you some sort of product as a solution, right? It's going to be buy this insurance, invest in this mutual fund. Conversely, though, Mr. or Mrs. Client, if you go to a financial planner with those same hopes, dreams, and aspirations, or worst fears and nightmares, a financial planner is going to help you to create a comprehensive plan. They're going to help you create a strategy, a blueprint to help you accomplish those things that you want to accomplish. And Mr. or Mrs. Client, what I often see is that people will go through their entire lives accumulating a bunch of products. All they have is a bunch of stuff. They got insurance over here. They got their 401k at work. They got a 529 plan at the bank. But no one's ever organized those things for them into a cohesive plan. That's the value that we bring in financial planning. That's the unique value proposition. Challenge two, prospecting. I happen to think financial planning makes this one really easy because the more you go out and talk about that value proposition, the more you're going to find clients and prospects who are attracted to it. Now, in our practice, we specialize in working with people who are what we consider to be first generation wealth, people who did not inherit money, people who do not plan to inherit money, right? And I relate to this demographic because that's where I come from. Growing up as a kid, I wanted Nikes and my parents bought Sykes, right? We didn't have any money. My parents had a tiny house before it was cool, right? And so I work with people who are first generation wealth. And so when we go out and we tell that story about how you don't have to have that stigma and that generational trauma that comes from not having money, we empower people through our financial planning process. And that in turn helps them to want to help some of the people that they're attracted to. So again, the process just continues and we get tons of prospects, especially through referrals because of that referability. The other thing that I'll say here really quickly, because this may resonate with some of you who are going to be new in the industry, where financial planning is also going to help you is that you may work with a lot of people, especially younger people, who would be considered Henrys. Now, Henry is an acronym. It stands for high earners, not rich yet. So many of you are going to graduate from college. Your friends are going to get really good jobs and they're going to be high earners. But guess what? They don't have any money for you to manage, right? They're high earners, but they're not rich yet. That does not mean, though, that they don't need help with all those financial challenges that we talked about. They're going to need help figuring out how to pay off those student loans. They're going to need help figuring out, what to do about the car that's going to break down, or when they should buy a house or how long they should continue renting. And by offering financial planning, that will give you a way to truly help these people, charge them a fee for that help, but without having the pressure of trying to find people with a bunch of money. A lot of our clients in our practice are Henrys. They're high earners, but they're not rich yet. And we're helping them with all the challenges that they have. All right. The other challenge is most people don't have a clear client service model. I happen to believe that financial planning creates a service model for you. And if you do the process right, you're going to help your clients accomplish more. The planning is more important than the plan itself. And so the financial planning process creates that service model. Last one, and this is really important, the residual income. You can have 10 years of experience, or you can have 1 year of experience 10 times. Most of you on the call today would rather have 10 years of experience. Well, you have 10 years of experience by building residual income, by building a practice that will continue to pay you exponentially for the work that you've done in previous years. Now, two of the best ways to get paid residually in our industry are through what's called assets under management and financial planning fees. Assets under management means that I manage someone's investment assets, and on a day like today, you get 100 calls, but I manage someone's investment assets and I charge them a fee to manage those assets. Now, the typical industry fee for managing assets is 1%. So you could charge 1% to manage someone's assets, or you could charge them financial planning fees. So I want you to think about this. If you were managing $20 million, right, and charging a fee of 1%, well, that would earn you, as an investment advisor, that would earn you $200,000 of revenue. Not a bad income. But remember what I said on the previous slide. Many of your clients may be Henrys. You may not know a lot of people who have a lot of money, but they may be high earners, but they just don't have any money for you to manage. So it's really hard for you as a new advisor sometimes to build a practice with AUM. But that's where financial planning comes into play. Because many of those Henry clients, while they don't have money for you to manage, they are willing to pay you a fee to continue to help them solve some of the financial challenges that they have. So the exact same $200,000 in revenue can be generated by, let's say, 100 clients who are financial planning clients of yours, paying an average of $2,000 a year for your planning advice. So again, you don't have a bunch of wealthy people, but you do have people who make a good income who need financial planning help. Here's my team in Charlotte, my Prosperity Wealth Group team. Everyone has their own role. My office manager, Ingrid, helps with onboarding our new clients. I also have a paraplanner. Her name is Latasha Anderson. And Latasha is responsible for a lot of the data entry and analysis for our financial planning clients. Tristan Helms is my junior financial planner. And 2 years ago, he was just like you guys in college. He was a pitcher at Appalachian State University. He came to Prudential and interned and then decided to join the firm. And he's doing a phenomenal job as our junior financial planner. And then I have two financial advisors in the practice who help us with the implementation. I want to show you our process really quickly, though, because I know we're at the top of the hour. And again, I do want to get to some questions, Emily, if we have time. For us to create a financial plan for clients, we tell them that it's going to be a lot of work for us, but it also takes a lot of work, commitment, and engagement from them as well. So it takes about 60 days for us to create a financial plan. The very first thing that we do is an introduction meeting where we introduce them to the idea of financial planning and tell them the true value of financial planning versus just working with a financial advisor. Then we have a goals development meeting where we take a deep dive into everything that they want to accomplish. We have a data entry review meeting that's conducted by our paraplanner, Latasha. And her goal is to make sure that all the information that we've gathered on the client is correct. The last thing we want to do is deliver a financial plan that has incorrect information. Something that's really important to us, especially because we work with people who are first generation wealth and who may not have had really good money role models in their household, we have an education meeting. That's an opportunity for us to take them through a PowerPoint that we've crafted specifically for their needs to educate them on some of the planning concepts, ideas, and strategies that we're likely going to present to them inside their financial plan. I've had clients tell me that the education meeting alone was worth the fee because they learned so much and found so much value and didn't have to feel, dumb, for lack of a better word, about some of the things that we presented to them in their financial plan. So the step 5 is the actual financial plan delivery. The plan comes in 2 deliverables. They usually get a huge analysis, which is 150 to 200 pages of charts, graphs, spreadsheets, numbers, and projections. The only people that like that are my engineering clients. And then the other part of the plan is a lot more easily digestible. It's 15 to 20 pages, written in layman's terms, outlining specifically what they're trying to accomplish and the steps that we think they should take to get there. All right. And then lastly, and more importantly, we have an implementation meeting. I said earlier that the planning is more important than the plan. In the implementation meeting, that's an opportunity for us to prioritize what from their financial plan needs to be implemented first. It allows us to assign roles and responsibilities. It allows us to figure out if we need to involve an insurance agent or an estate planning attorney or their accountant to make sure that their plan is successfully implemented. And then lastly, we have a robust monitoring process. And again, I like to think of our monitoring process. I'm a big Peloton guy. You can follow me on Peloton if you got one, Del_Joyce 33. But the monitoring progress, I think of this like the Peloton leaderboard, because I create a checklist that shows them their progress towards accomplishing their goals. And so every time I meet with my clients, their main objective is checking off more of the objectives that we had outlined for them on their checklist. And every other month we get together and we review that together. So we create this cadence of accountability, this cadence of communication, and it truly helps our clients to accomplish more. So that's why I'm so partial to financial planning, because it creates much more of a value proposition for your clients and allows you to have a true impact. Last thing I'll say, I don't know if any of you follow Dave Ramsey, but Dave likes to say that we live in a culture full of hares, but the tortoise always wins. And so if you decide to come into this wonderful industry, this great industry that NAIFA helps us all to protect, then I want you to think of yourself as a tortoise. You're going to see people running up the leaderboard or selling more than you or getting all this success and all this stuff in the beginning of their careers. The thing that you have to be focused on, the thing that I want you to think about that will be an indication of your success is what kind of impact are you having on people's lives? And I can promise you, if you're having a true impact in helping people, then you're going to be the tortoise. You're always going to win. So with that, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. Thanks for being here. Emily, are there any questions in the chat or the Q&A?
Well, we'll give them a couple minutes, or if you want to raise your hand, I can unmute you. I'll give you a couple minutes to either type your questions in the chat. But while you guys are typing, I will say, Delvin, first of all, thank you. I love this big overview of the industry. I think it really helps people to understand the industry better and see where they've got a great fit. The other thing that I'd want to ask of the students, if you are participating and you're enjoying what you're doing here, put it on social media, share on social media that you're part of the Future Leaders Program, use hashtag NAIFAProud, so that we can do some shout outs to you guys and let you know that we're very excited to have this great group of students entering the industry. So any questions for Delvin? This is a great opportunity to pick one of the industry's best brain.
Best, I like that. Oh, by the way, Jensen, go Chiefs. I love that. Go Mahomes. I love that guy.
Anybody?
Right.
Nobody?
Please don't be shy.
Mimi. Oh, okay. Let me unmute you here. We got it. Somebody. Okay. Go ahead. You should be unmuted. You can unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you can hear me. Good, great. I'm Yan Fei. Thank you. It's very great. I loved what you said. So my question is, your service as an integrated solution for your clients, will you consider the tax and the legal perspective?
Was I considered a tax and legal? I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Yeah, tax and legal, you know, the as the factors.
Yeah. So really good question. So I think the question was, can I provide tax or legal advice, or am I considered a tax or legal professional? Yeah. So the FINRA and the SEC both have some very strict guidelines for financial advisors and or financial planners acting in a legal capacity or giving tax advice. Now, what I can do though is I can give forward-looking tax advice, right, to help clients mitigate their tax liability. And this is a big value that we offer to our clients, because many times their CPA is looking in the rearview mirror. They're looking at last year and saying, here's what happened and here's what you owe. As a financial planner, your goal is to look through that front mirror, the windshield, and make sure that you can mitigate those upcoming tax challenges. From a legal standpoint, we don't give legal advice, but we can look at their entire financial situation and make recommendations around their estate plan so that when they do meet with an attorney, that attorney can draft the appropriate documents based on their holistic financial situation.
Thank you. Is there companies like they can provide a total solution?
Yeah, so there are some fee-only financial planning firms that have like a legal arm. They may have an accountant and they do taxes. So yes, that does exist. My company Prudential does not allow me to work in that capacity, but if you built your own sort of entrepreneurial model, you could work that if you wanted.
Yeah, I do need that service, and I want to be a client first to experience that service, then to see if I want to approach that direction as a job, you know?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank
You'll do great.
Thank you.
Oh, and we got one from the chat, and we got hands. So we'll do the chat first here. So how would you compare those three paths to real estate? Is there more opportunities for money or one versus the other?
Yeah, fantastic question, Johnny. So the real value in the financial services industry is that residual income that I spoke about. And the unfortunate thing about real estate is a lot of times it is contingent upon, like if you're a real estate professional, you had a great year because you sold 10 houses. Well, the sad thing is you don't get paid every time somebody pays their mortgage, right? You have to sell 10 more houses again next year. In our industry, there is a lot of residual income. And so the other part of it is that the housing market as a real estate professional sometimes can be positively correlated with the economy. So if the economy is bad, the housing market's bad, as a real estate professional, you may have a hard time making money. If you own a bunch of investment or rental properties, you may have a hard time getting rent from your tenants. In the financial planning industry, when there's a recession, when the economy is bad, that's when your clients actually need you the most. That's when they may go from growth-oriented products to protection-oriented products. So I like to say our industry is recession-proof. A lot of advisors in 2008, when you guys were in middle school or elementary school, when we had the Great Recession, a lot of advisors had the best years of their career because their clients really counted on them and needed them the most during that time.
Okay, got another one from the field. What made you want to get into the industry? Also, how do you market yourself and try and get new clients?
Yeah, so one of the things that made me want to really get into the industry, so I kind of have to go back in my story a little bit. Before I went to the NFL, I actually did not get drafted, did not sign as a free agent right out of college. And I had a friend who was a financial advisor for a firm in Washington, D.C., and he called me and was like, hey, you would be great in this industry. And so I went to work, fell in love with it. And I fell in love with the idea. And I know this sounds corny, but I fell in love with the idea that I could do well for myself while doing good things for other people. That's really what stuck out to me. So when I left the NFL, I wanted to come back into this industry, and it was a natural progression. The other question, how do I market myself? You know, in the early years, I marketed myself through my affinities. So I want you to think about what are the things that you are passionate about? What are your affinities? There's an old saying that if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And so I built my marketing around the things that I love to do. And so, you know, for me, coming from professional football, I love being around sports. And so I built a marketing plan to work with high school football coaches. That was my initial target market right out of the NFL, my first year in the career at Prudential in 2006. I worked with high school football coaches. You know why? That's my affinity. I could go into any locker room in America, do the secret handshake, and I'm right at home, right? And so so build your market around your affinities.
Great. And also, don't forget too, we've got some more sessions that are coming up. And so, you know, the hope is that, you know, we can ask Delvin some questions, but we can also get the opinions and thoughts of all of these other leaders that you're going to meet throughout the week. Or throughout the month. Okay. The stock market is very challenging right now. Do you have any advice for us?
Yes. Hold on for dear life. All right. I want you to think about looking at the market as investing or riding an escalator going up while playing with a yo-yo, right? There's going to be some ups and downs, but all the while the market's going to go up. Historically, over the last 50 years, the S&P 500 has returned over 11% on average, but it hasn't been a straight road. There's been that yo-yo, and right now we are in one of those down cycles. So the best advice is buy quality companies. If you're investing in stocks, buy really quality companies and invest with a long-term perspective. Awesome. Oh, and don't buy crypto. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I'm not a crypto guy.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sticking around and asking Delvin some questions. He is a fantastic resource, one of my dear friends. So we appreciate him taking his time and giving his insights to you. Please, like I said, join NAFA on social media, hashtag NAFA Proud, and we'll pick that up and share with everybody about your experience here. We will see you back here next week. We've got Evelyn Geller, who is out of Long Island with New York Life. And same time, this will be available on demand. We'll have the recording. So if you weren't able to listen to the whole thing, or you have a classmate who wasn't able to join, let them know that everybody will get an email that will have the link to watch this on demand, and they can catch up on everything that they missed.
Awesome.
So with that, Delvin, again, thank you very much. Always appreciate your insights, and we'll see everyone next week.
Thank you, guys. That was so much fun. Thank you.